So I'm here tonight to answer a few questions that many people have been asking us. It's been a pretty common question. And that common question is, what exactly is voodoo metal? Where did it come from? Where did you guys come up with the name? What gave you the idea to try to create a new subgenre of metal? Such a big question. The answer's simple. We actually didn't come up with the idea. What we were doing was just creating music that we thought sounded good. That was a little different than traditional metal. That just felt like everybody was kind of just falling in line with whoever was popular. And, hey, let's sound like these guys. They're pretty popular. Getting on with labels that say, hey, you guys are great, but these guys are really good over here. Can you sound like them? And that's just not us. Our intention wasn't to sound like anybody other than to find our own sound. And once we started releasing our music, then the public kind of approached it as, hey, you guys sound different. It's kind of cool. What exactly is this? You may have created a new subgenre of metal. And we said, well, if we created a new subgenre, it's not up to us to give it a name. We're not trying to be trendsetters or anything like that. If people want to give it a name, let's let the people give it a name. So we put it out on social media and we started asking folks, if you think this is something new, what should we call it? And we ended up having someone pretty local kind of chime in and was like, hey, you guys are representing the group, you're representing the South, you represent Louisiana. So, what's more culturally native to this area other than voodoo? We're kind of one of the few areas in the world, particularly in the United States, that actually, kind of known for voodoo in and of itself. And what exactly does voodoo stand for? When you buy a voodoo doll, it's generally one or two things. You're either trying to harm someone, or, you're trying to make someone love you. You're trying to get revenge for a lost love. You're trying to find solace, and looking for a result. So lyrically, that's what a lot of our songs are about. It's basically, relationships gone bad. They say pop music is what happens when you're in a relationship and everything's great. Metal is the aftermath of when things go really sour. The question is, how do you get that resolve? How do you get that solace, that peace? Or in some cases, how do you get that pound of flesh? Those are things that we tackle lyrically in the music. And those are things that generally people are trying to resolve, when they're practitioners of the art. Musically speaking, because of the fact that we weren't really conceptualizing or trying to build something other than, making what we thought was pretty good music, was, if we're going to call this thing voodoo metal, or we're going to let it be called that, then, we need to be able to define or set some parameters that say, okay, this is what makes it what it is. This is what creates the sound. When the band was being put together, we were kind of interviewing people and putting them through the ringer in terms of what we were looking for and who was going to be in and who was going to be out. When Carter came on board with the drumming, one of the things that really stood out to us was that he's not a traditional metal drummer. In fact, a lot of his work on the hi-hats, a lot of the sizzle, a lot of the things that he does with his cymbal work actually felt more contemporary jazz. It felt more, blues feeling to it. You could work the hell out of the double kick, but it was intermittent. It wasn't a consistent gallop like what you hear in most traditional metal. It's in and out, a lot of handwork, a lot of jazz fusion, a flavor that's just known here in Louisiana. So our drum work is a little different. So if you're influenced and putting a little jazz work and some fusion inside of the drums, and you're leaning more towards voodoo metal. You listen to a lot of our guitar riffs. Our guitar riffs, they're not consistently on a 16-note pattern, just driving all the way, keeping your head going. Here, it's more like a snake charmer. It's more like a side-to-side motion. There's just a hypnotic feel to it. Even in the song Voodoo, there's a bounce that kind of keeps you in line. But I mean, at the same token, it still has that anger. It still has that just raw emotion that comes through. You know, that's what we're kind of looking for with all of our work, everything that we put together. You know, just adding elements of things that just feel like home. You know, which kind of makes it hard to explain in some cases because of the fact that how exactly do you explain what home feels like? So, at the end of the day, Voodoo Metal is just home. Good old Louisiana, the boot, home of voodoo.